All right. Excited about getting going this week. We gave them 2 days off just to work in the 30 practices in 42 days. We'll have two good practices leading up to Wednesday. We will let Jalen House do a little bit of non-contact. We'll let Isaac Mushila do a little bit of non-contact. I'd say they're both doubtful for Wednesday, with kind of the intent to get them back for the first game. Did a lot of really good things in our first exhibition game. I thought it was good for us. Although it was first half, it was always nice to feel kind of the stress and the anxiety of being down a little bit and playing in a close game. So that was very beneficial. So now we'll kind of turn the page and looking forward to playing Highlands. They got a lot of local kids, so it always means a lot to them. But just gearing up, obviously, for a week from today.
Coach, what do you feel like you all need to work on as you go into your final exhibition and get ready for that Texas?
Well, it's almost like we've hit reset because of Nelly. We played the first exhibition game with really just giving Nelly a couple of concepts of what we're going to run. He played two different pick and roll coverages that he did well, which I was surprised that he would even know what he was doing there. But he was able to adjust terminology-wise throughout the course of the game. So it's getting, there's things we probably don't even know that Nelly does or doesn't know that we just got to go through some live reps in practice to figure that out. So really get him on the same page, and when Isaac comes back in the fold, getting him on the same page as well. So, and then to go along with all the obvious things we got to get better at.
I know it's only been one exhibition game, but you've seen Isaac enough. You haven't seen Isaac and Nelly together, obviously, but what's Isaac going to bring when he does come back? Is he going to eat at one player in particular's minutes, or?
I don't know. I mean, I think when he was playing, he was a terrific cutter, really good rebounder, probably a better shooter than you think he is. He can make a shot for sure. We at the time weren't really playing him at the three because our numbers are down in the front court, but I would like to look at it whenever he can get healthy to where he's playing a little bit of three. I'm trying really, really hard, especially if we're going three guards or whatever, maybe that we can be big at the 4 and the 5 to help defensively and rebounding. But, he's another guy we talked about who's played in the NCAA tournament. He was an all-conference player. So I was impressed when he was playing, but he's obviously missed a little bit of time now. So I'd like to be able to look at him at the 3 and the 4.
He's obviously the rebounding numbers last year, well, throughout his college career, even in junior college, his rebounding numbers have been what kind of stood out. Is he a guy that at the 3 can really help you guys with rebounding? Or
hopefully. I mean, I think more than anything, it's length. I'm intrigued by playing JT at the 4. I think he could do that as well. So I think this is the time of year where we can mix and match the matchups and see kind of, you're watching St. Mary's, they're playing a big 3-4, things like that. So, just trying to prepare for all options early in the season.
Did you get a better handle on your rotation after what you saw in the first exhibition game?
No, not really. I mean, I played everybody. That's not realistic. I think, as I said before, it was nice to play with the lights on, to play with a little bit of stress. That was good. We needed that. And so I think Wednesday will be another great step in that, to where I think you'll see maybe a calmer group for sure. But no, I don't know. I mean, it's not realistic that we're going to play. I mean, we've got, 12 guys, 14 total. Our walk-ons even think they should be playing. So it's going to be 14 guys who all want to play. I can't play them all, and reality of kind of the way it works, and that's okay.
So you're shorting it up for this one. Like you be more into game mode, like you're getting ready, like the regular season, just the next game. So.
I was coaching as if it was a real game. I don't need. I think people always think, you need to see what you got during these games. Like, I know what I have. Rarely does a guy who stinks in practice, they're amazing in a game. Like, that's not normally the way it works. Like, all these kids that are like, oh, you don't give me an opportunity. No, I do every single day. So the game will dictate the subs, how many guys play and so on. But I approached last game like it was a game. As I said before, like, if we lose, is everybody not going to care? Like, I don't believe that's the case. So, we approach every game like it's the same. So, and I thought it was great. I thought it was really beneficial.
As Nelly gets acclimated again with the team, really this week, do you plan to start him again, kind of just throw him in on Wednesday, or?
Yeah, I mean, we've got 2 days of practice, but I would assume that's the case. We'll see. I mean, he'll be way more equipped to do it now than for 1 day practice. I thought he did pretty well for playing 16 minutes. So I mean, he's a key part of that front court. It's just you want to rush the process, but you can't. It was unfortunate situation for him to kind of go through and the team, but he's here now, and that's all. That's the most important thing. But we're trying very, very hard to be smart about how much we throw at him early in the process.
So he's up to speed.
Yeah. He'll be fine.
2 of your older guys, in Jemarl Baker Jr. and Mustafa Amzil, I know they're 2 new guys, but they're 2 of your more experienced guys. Didn't really do much in the exhibition game. They certainly didn't press and try and do too much. I don't think. Was that just a byproduct of letting the younger guys do more?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was. I wanted to get them out there because they hadn't played in front of our fans in the pit, but I was intent on trying to play JT and Nelly together if I could. I was trying to get Quentin some minutes at that backup 4 spot as well. So it wasn't their performance didn't have a whole lot to do with their minutes.
How high is that ceiling? Like, if you get JT and Nelly out there, because especially I was actually like really impressed with JT. I was like taken aback with how well he was doing. So
yeah, I think he's one of the better freshmen in the league. I think he's just one of those guys. Some players come in and they want to know exactly where they're going to play and what are the minutes I'm going to get, this and that. Like, he doesn't do any of that, and he just lets his game do the talking. And he forces me to think about where can I put him. And that's what good players do. They don't worry about exact role, exact position, or promises or anything. And we don't certainly make those, but JT just lets his game do the talking. I think the one difference, we had, 13 blocks. That's hopefully going to be a part of our defense. And if you have the 4 and the 5 that can block shots, that's great. The problem with freshmen is 2 positions can be hard at times for a young player. So you got to make sure that they're not overthinking things too much. But he handled it pretty well. He's making me want to play him, which is a great thing.
I know ideally Nelly's the 5, but any thought of keeping JT as the 5 if you play them both together and put Nelly at the 4?
Well, Nelly hardly knows where he is right now, so you gotta simplify it more for him for sure. And Nelly probably thinks he can hit threes, but JT can hit threes.
As far as Quentin goes, did he kind of do what you thought he would do, or did you kind of raise his ceiling a little bit in your eyes?
Well, I mean, it was good to see him out there. I think him and True came in there and they got deflections and then they got extra possessions and they did those things. And that's what this team is missing, is just an individual kind of accountability to bring in that energy off the bench. Similar to JT. Never any questions about what position am I playing, how much am I going to play. When we made the decision to redshirt him, he said, I trust you, coach, whatever you think's best. So he didn't surprise me. I mean, he's been doing that stuff in practice, but it's just about being able to play. But I really liked the minutes that he gave us because it wasn't about scoring. It was just about just playing hard, competing. He did that.
He might be younger than True and JT as well, too. He's 18. Are either one of them 19-year-old freshmen?
I don't think either one of them are 19, so I think they're all 3 young. I'll check the birth certificates. I'm not
if you
sure.
don't mind.
Doing a big birthday edition tomorrow.
Yeah. Do you pay attention at all? I know in the offseason you keep tabs on where some of the other guys went? And I know you said you've talked with some of the guys that transferred out. Are you kind of in the mode now that it's season time, you're just paying attention to your team? Or do you keep tabs on where some of the guys that left the program are now, some of your former players?
Yeah, I mean, the assistants will kind of update me on, I think KJ played well the other day, they told me. So, yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think about it, but I'm interested to see how they're doing. You know, not even in a negative way, but I think it's important for our guys to know the guys that think the grass is greener elsewhere, how they're doing. Maybe they are doing well. Maybe it is the right fit, or maybe it's not. So I think as you get older, you always pause when you're making decisions because you have perspective about somebody you may know did something and maybe it didn't work out or it did work out. I took this job because Steve Alford had a similar, although I'm younger, they're here for you. Although I'm younger, Coach Alford had a similar Iowa, Minnesota experience to me, comes here and really is very successful, and that factored into my decision to make, you know, the choice to come here. Same should go for our guys about these guys who leave for greener pastures. So we certainly pay attention to it. I'm rooting for them. I mean, they're all good kids. You know, but other than that, unless somebody tells me, I'm not sure I'm going to really focus too much on it.
How has that been for you, like this portal combat, you know, all that, you know, where people be trying to get your guys? I know for Danny, the football team, like if somebody really excels, like AJ Halsey and those guys, they're on them right away trying to get them out.
It's just part of the deal. It's I think everybody's accustomed to when a coach has a really good year and other schools come calling, right? And we don't get as outraged and offended by it. It is now part of the deal of college, everything, college sports. And what I always tell them is this. I always say, listen, this is a year-by-year deal now more than it's ever been. And you can either increase your value or decrease your value. Maybe you hate it here. You can still go out and play the right way and help the team, and maybe we get you a better spot that fits you better. But you're always auditioning for yourself every little way that you want to. So my job is certainly to win. That is the job. But everybody we bring here, you're either going to decrease your value or increase your value. And I think we have a lot of guys on our roster who have increased their value. You're just going to have to get used to every single spring. It's going to happen. And it's just the way the system is set up right now.
Has the portal changed the importance of your freshman class?
Well, I don't know. Everything has changed. Everything about this profession has changed drastically. I would say the portal has created a bigger change than NIL, although NIL is huge. All of these fans and these people have to understand, like, that'd be like hiring a coach when you have no money. Like, it's just not going to happen. You need to have NIL. We're fortunate that we have some great people locally. Kurt Roth has done an amazing job. But the transfer part of it, there were a lot of kids that paused and didn't transfer because they didn't want to sit out. And then after maybe their first year, which is normally rough, they said, you know what, you're right, I see it. Just experience. As we all get older, we feel that. But I think those two factors have just turned the sport upside down, and it is what it is. But, I mean, I've never been a big believer in complaining. I know what the rules are, and I'm going to do my very, very best to put New Mexico in the best position every year. So it has drastically changed, and adapt or die.
Do you try to keep the guys grounded, you know, like, because some people can have a grandiose view of themselves?
I stopped asking because they normally all have a very grandiose view and a very, very, you know, it's hard too because I think you factor in social media. It used to be when I first got into the business, the great players got attention. The great players got fame almost. Now everybody's got it. It doesn't really matter how talented you are. I mean, you click on our guys' social media page, they look like models. You're like, geez, these guys look amazing. Not that they're not great, but it's just it's like they travel around with like professional photographers. I don't know who the hell's taking half these pictures. And it's like a drug to them. They want to see pictures of themselves. Every time I see a picture of myself, I shun. I'm like, please take that off the thing. They are obsessed with it, and it's not just one guy, and that has to build a false sense of reality. See, I think when social media first started, we all knew it was fake. I think a lot of people are starting to think it's reality. So you don't want to put them down by any means, but you want to give them honest feedback. They all want to be pros. I've been lucky to coach some pros, whether as an assistant, I coach back-to-back pros out of my program in Minnesota. And pros now can mean overseas, NBA. So, you try to give them the right feedback, because at the end of the day, like, they are seduced by likes and retweets and Instagram. Oh, they are. They love it. But at the end of the day, they want to be pros. The best player in the world right now would probably be Nikola Jokic. He has no social media. So it just depends on, who you are. And so for every anti-social media rant I can go on, there's a lot of people who have it and are doing very, very well as well.
If Nelly had 4 plays in the first exhibition.
Yeah, try and extend it to about 8. Yeah, we got the playbook. I got it highlighted of what he knows. I don't want to reveal the whole playbook right now anyway, but sometimes you overthink that and you don't play well. So we've got 2 more days plus a shoot around. We'll try to up that percentage a little bit to where, the goal is by Monday he's playing hard and not thinking. But yeah, maybe a play or 2 a day.
What's, I guess, the response of Sebastian and even JT, who played well, but knowing that, the starting 5 is here now? How have they responded to him being here?
Well, Sebastian's like the greatest person ever, so I brought him and JT over at shoot around. I said, hey, I'm going to start Nelly because I didn't want to ramp him up, then sit him, and then he gets kind of lost in the shuffle, and then all of a sudden I play him with like 4 minutes to go in the first half. And Sebastian looked at me and was like, do you really think I care? I go, no, I know you don't care. I'm more saying for JT. I'm like, I know you don't care. And JT was great too, so both of them understand. And Sebastian's like, he's coaching Nelly up, and, so doesn't surprise me one bit.
What do you have to see absolute from this last exhibition before you head for the real deal?
I just want to see some progress in everything, that we're doing. I don't really necessarily view results, although I understand the job is to win. I'm always looking at upward trajectory. Okay, what did we not do well that we can get better at the first game to the second game? And just learning from those things. I want to see maybe a calmer group. I think the stress of the game got to them a little bit, and normal, right? I think we all felt that a little bit. That's what those exhibition games are for. I thought our defense was much better in the second half. Turnovers were a problem, but you're seeing everywhere right now. Every box score you look at, teams are turning it over 17, 18 times. So other than that, just keep getting better.
Would you prefer I think you've already commented on this, but a close scrimmage?
I would love to do 2 close scrimmage, or a charity event, a close scrimmage, and 2 exhibition games. That would be my preference. Obviously, can't do that. With the rules the way they are now, if you could do a charity that's open to the fans and a exhibition, that I think is your ideal thing. But we needed a certain number of home games in the season ticket package. But that would be my preference, because playing in front of fans is valuable.
The scrimmage, I know last year, you guys lost the scrimmage last year. How much did you open up the playbook then compared to what you're doing right now with the exhibition?
Yeah, I didn't run anything last year, and that probably, not to say we wouldn't have won, but that definitely hurt us, because I didn't want to reveal anything, because you just never know where that tape is going to go, and we didn't play well offensively because of that. I wasn't stressed about losing that, but I also know, you're going to deal with a little bit of Twitter losses, right, throughout the week because of it. But when you see the big picture, it's fine. But yeah, that's the balance is how much do you reveal to play well, or do you overthink it? Sometimes you overthink it and you don't do enough, and also you're playing like crap. It kills your team's confidence as well.
Coach, we talked a little after the game about the JYD thing that you put on the board at halftime, the junkyard dog thing, and I guess it's a 2-part question about that. One, we kind of talked a little bit about how much of it is within the player, and it's there or it isn't, and it can grow a little bit. But also, how much can players on your team help bring that out of their teammates? And is that something that leaders can do if that's part of who they are?
Yeah, I think you hope your best players are your toughest players, your best defenders, your junkyard dogs, as we say, and then they set the tone for other guys. I think Jalen House has a lot of that because of his just ability to play hard and defend and scrap for a long time. He just hasn't played the last 3 weeks. So I need those. I need when a shot goes up, somebody rotates and blocks a shot like Nelly and like JT did, or we make a mistake and Donovan springs the length of the court, blocks a shot like he did last game, or Quentin Webb getting deflections and True Washington. Like that is, although we went to the first postseason in 9 years, we did a lot of good things last year. Like that identity has not been built yet. And it's my job certainly to establish that, but it's on the players to perform when the time comes for that.
Some of the new guys, did they react to how this crowd can get with their first experience? I know it's not like the game. You know, there's going to be a lot more people here, but
Yeah, I think I mean, we probably, I don't know what it was listed, but there was probably 5,000, 6,000 maybe that were at the game, and I thought it was a phenomenal crowd. That's why they came here. You know, I mean, we talk a lot about the fit in the program, how we can get you better, but at the end of the day, they come here because when they walk off that plane, people know who they are, and it's important to this community. The building is special. I tweeted it the other day. I truly do believe it. I've coached in a lot of great environments. When we're good and when this environment's good, it's a top 5 environment in college basketball. The key is to have that all the time. Not for an exhibition game, I understand that. But there's not a lot of programs in college basketball that are getting that many fans for a random exhibition game. So I know they enjoyed it. I know that's why they came here.
It's going to be a pleasant problem that you have, but can Donovan play alongside Mashburn and House? Can you play those three together?
Yeah, I did it last year a good amount. Certainly offensively it can be really good, but it's now a matter of are we sacrificing something on the defensive side of it and rebound the basketball? That's the key. Certainly all three can play together, and that's a pretty darn good perimeter. But it can't be at the expense of defensive rebounding. So we did it last year. We're pretty good. We'll continue to look at it moving forward.
Really just keep getting a feel for each other and building chemistry. I mean, we have a lot of new guys, so really just trying to be as good of a unit as we can, really. Just continuing to build every day, and if we do that every day, then we'll get to where we want to be.
Last week's exhibition, and there's, I mean, obviously Isaac's not playing. He's a 5th-year guy. Jalen's a 5th-year guy not playing. You and Mustafa didn't do a whole lot, but the young guys kind of took over.
Mm-hmm.
Was that something you kind of just stood back and let them do a little bit?
I mean, just go out there and play basketball, really. I mean, I just wanted to go out there and get a feel for everybody, get a feel for what we were doing offensively and defensively, and just go out there and have fun with the guys. It's a new team, like I said, and I'm excited for the season for sure.
what's up?
But I'm sorry, you as a brand new player to this program, but I get the sense your personality is as a leader. So was that a difficult transition for you to understand that we got a lot of young guys here, I need to lead too?
Well, I mean, I've kind of been in a leadership role for a few years now. Even going to Fresno, I was going as a 5th-year guy. So I've been in that role for a while now, and I enjoy it for sure. We definitely do have a lot of young guys, but as you can see in the last exhibition game, they're ready, and it's going to be good for us. We're going to need everybody to be as good as we want to be.
Coach Pitino mentioned you guys playing just kind of more as a calmer group coming up in this exhibition. Do you feel like you guys kind of just got the feel of things now and you feel a little more comfortable heading into Wednesday?
Definitely. I think every game we're going to get more comfortable with each other. Definitely this game was just filling each other out and just really getting used to playing with each other instead of against each other every day in practice. Every day in practice, we switch up the groups and stuff like that, and definitely getting a chance to go against other people and see what we're capable of was definitely good for us. So we're just going to continue to build.
You guys got a good look at each other, like you said, going against each other in practice. How high is the ceiling for this team?
It's very high, but I mean, it starts with every day in practice, just getting better, and even in the games, getting better every single game and just putting it together. It's going to take everybody having on the right mindset every single day, and everybody just being selfless and sacrificing. Coach has been preaching for us to just sacrifice, and we have a lot of great players that can do a lot of things on this team, and we all just have to sacrifice and put our pride to the side in most cases, really, and just focus on winning. And everybody is a good person on this team, so I think we're capable of doing that.
As Jeff mentioned, you just played in the flow and that kind of thing. Will you look for your shot more in this exhibition game than you did maybe in the last one?
For sure. As I continue to get comfortable, I'll definitely start to be more aggressive. Like I said, I'm just looking forward to the year. Like I said, I'm just trying to get a flow with the team and things like that, but I'll definitely be more aggressive.
You said looking forward to the year. You must be, like, knowing that this is the last exhibition game before the regular season. You must be, just excited, man. Like,
For sure. I'm excited, man. Honestly, I'm excited for the whole year. This is my last year of college basketball for sure now. I've been thinking that for a while, but this is my last college basketball year. So I'm definitely excited for every game. I'm excited for every practice. I love the team, and I enjoy just coming to practice and seeing the team every day.
It's your third last year.
Man, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
The Nelly situation is pretty unique, where he hasn't even been here a week yet. He got here last Tuesday night. So how, what's your role as a guard, as a three, to let the new center come in and kind of work with him? Like, is there something, maybe you can overthink it, but do you have to do something different to make sure he's getting up to speed, or you just have to do your thing regardless of how up to speed he is? Like, how do you guys get him to get into the flow, I guess?
I mean, he's really smart. So we only really had a day of him going through the plays and things like that before he played. So he's really smart. He's going to come in and get the flow. And, I mean, like we said, we're all trying to get a flow too. So it's more of him just getting in game shape and all of us just getting used to each other at the same time. So it's not like he's just completely new because we're all still trying to get a feel too. So as he continues to practice with us, and as he continues to get in game shape, then it'll be easy because he's really smart. So
it's not a whole lot of adjustment for you necessarily. It's just him getting up to speed a little bit.
For sure.
I was asking Coach about how the people really get into it here, and since from being here before as a visitor, have you talked to any of the young guys about what to expect, like when the big games come through and this crowd, man?
Not necessarily, not yet. Even as a young guy, when I was young at Kentucky, there weren't too many older guys, but the people that were there, even with them telling me how it was going to be, you don't really understand it until you get into it. So they play well, though. They play really well, and they have the mentality that they'll be ready when it's time to.
So, some of those young guys, Donnie's a second-year guy, Donovan Day, but JT in the first half and then True in the second half really kind of gave fans a lot to look at for young guys. I'm curious if that's something you've seen what they did last week, if that's something you've been seeing in practice, or if they surprised you a little bit with how well they played.
No, they've been consistent throughout, since I've been here throughout the summer. I've been saying that True defensively has been making impacts in practice, getting steals on the wing, having a lot of deflections, and JT has been a force down low too. So definitely been seeing it all summer. They've both been consistent, and it didn't surprise me at all the way they played.
And Donovan too.
Yeah, and Donnie, we all know what he's capable of for sure. So that didn't surprise me.
Having a young core like that, how comfortable does that make you, knowing kind of what the depth of this team looks like? Having the young guys pretty up to speed and comfortable on the court, along with a lot of you veterans out there.
Yeah, it's great. It's incredible. Like I've been saying, just over the summer, it's been like that. Everybody's been consistent, and I've been through a lot of teams to know that like the players that are going to be ready for sure when it's time to be. And everybody on this team is capable of being really good players, and I think they will continue to show that they're capable of doing, like, just having a great impact on winning.
I wanted to ask about something that you just mentioned a second ago about sacrifice and for the team. A lot of veteran guys and then young guys. Interesting mix to have these extremes on the team. And, winning being the only thing. How much do you think this group is bought into that? Everybody has their own individual goals and things like that, and of course the team goal is the one at the top. But how have you guys sort of collectively bought into that part of it?
Yeah, I mean, we all understand that winning is the only way that we'll all like get our individual goals. So everybody is focused on winning. Everybody knows that that basically just in order to, I guess, like just have a legacy or just be the player that you want to be, that you have to win. There's not very many players that have lost and still have a great legacy or are still considered great players. So we just understand that we have to go out there and win, and then all of the individual accolades will come.